Where am I? I'm in Huddersfield, where I live. Right, today we'll just get over these cobbly streets. Oh, the Roman built roads, still better than the Kirklees. Today you find me in my car, which this is a 1-year review, because this car has now been in my ownership for over a year. Hard to believe, but yes, it has. As some people might know me, I don't normally keep my cars long, but this has now been in my ownership over a year. Year and a month, let's say. So we're going to find out exactly how have I found the car to own, drive. Have I found any niggles, any passions? Has it made me want the ST version? So we're going to find out more about the car. I've just got to say one thing. I love this new cabin. This new version of this Mark 8 is what this Fiesta obviously needed. I have mentioned that previously when we did a Fiesta ST Mark 7 and we banged on about how the interior was suffering. So yeah, it's brilliant to see this new interior. I do find the touchscreen and everything very, very easy to use. Sat nav, brilliant, I had to use it a few times. I'm finding it, let's say on its fuel, I've had it a year. Now it's not had massive motorway blasts, so you'll have to bear with me with this. It's had its daily tootling to and from work, it's run-of-the-mill round stuff, so I reckon its average that it's getting of a 39.3 at the moment is okay. I'd still class it as running in anyway. It needs some motorway blasts to have that a better average, and that is a buy with any car really. Driving this car on the whole, I love it. I did say in my review that it was ticking all the boxes and it was everything I liked and that, and for all it is a 1 litre engine, it's a turbocharged one. It's a very small turbo, but it does shift. I find it can pull up some hills excellently. I've overtaken some vehicles on the slide and really floored it, and it don't let you down. It has a little nice turbo whistle to it, very subtle, but it's not major, but it is what it is. The drive's nice. It's not bumpy like mad. It is in between normal and not harsh, you know. ST has the same suspension but tweaked obviously. So when I said it shared the suspension, it does, but obviously the ST one is tweaked even more, made more sporty. It has made me want to get an ST version of this. Looking at it, the styling, well, you're really not far off from the ST. You've got the same side skirts, spoiler, the lot, obviously different wheels, different grille, but by the little touches, we are looking basically like an ST anyway, hence the ST Line name. Yeah, I'm really struggling to find nasty niggles about the car. I can't fault it. I love the shape. I'm really getting used to the shape. When we did the review, if you saw it guys, we did have an elephant in the room. We couldn't dodge around it. It was there and it's still there. It'll always be there. It's on all the Fiestas and it's the daytime running lights. I did refer to them as Dame Edna with the glasses, and I am getting used to them. I said I would get used to them because it's not a biggie where the car's concerned. You show me many new cars that haven't got fancy daytime running lights now. They're all there. It's just whatever styling they choose. But anyway, I am getting used to them, but I still have that little gripe, and I did say it. Ford, why didn't you introduce a tiny little dimming button for them? So you could actually tone them down a bit. Nothing wrong with that at all. Could have done it. So they're there, they're bright. Hey ho. So anyway, I've got Craig now with me. As always, we like to have a little bit of discuss about this. Basically, I'd like Craig to put some views across what he sort of finds a car, how he likes any certain bits first, and then I might pick him up along the way.
To be honest, I think Martin did the best thing when he bought the car, when he came to choosing the colour, because you don't see many red ones about.
Now this is the thing. I must just say, before I got this car, I looked on YouTube. I looked at YouTube as the STs, and the first video that popped up was a red ST, and I thought how good it looked. I won't obviously get in the ST, but I'll get the ST line. I'll get it in the same red. And I even adamantly said at the garage, I want race red, I want race red. They kept saying, why do you want that? I said, I do. And I got it in this, and I am pleasantly surprised with the colour. It is a really good colour that suits the car, and I did say that in the first review. About this armrest, it being an optional extra, it isn't. I did say earlier, as I was driving here, I was led to believe there was an optional extra which just sort of sat in. Yeah. It doesn't, it's a different moulding and you don't get it. It's just the STs and the ST Line X-Pack, which comes with a complete different moulding with the armrest in.
No, I mean, generally speaking, I think he did the right thing in terms of colour. It certainly the colour I would have chosen if I'd have bought one as well. It is
a nice red. Reds sometimes don't always fare well as they get older. They have to be really looked after. But obviously, if anyone knows me, I'm probably not going to have this car long enough to worry about that.
No, that's true. But no, generally speaking, I love the car. Obviously, it's an ST Line, so it's sort of a halfway house between, a run-of-the-mill Fiesta and obviously the ST.
It is.
I love the style in this car. I've had cars like this before myself. One that springs to mind was my Corsa SRI. Subtle little body kit but without being over the top.
Yeah.
And that pretty much sums this car up. It looks the part, it's got a really nice set of wheels, nice subtle little body kit there, but without being sort of, set over the top really.
Now you say wheels, I won't say it's a gripe about these wheels, but I like the colour of them, but I'm not so overjoyed of the style.
The style doesn't bother me too much. I'm with you on the colour. I think the colour looks fantastic.
Great. The colour's very different for a car like this. I think it looked a bit cheaper if it had been standard alloy wheel colour.
Yeah, and I think it looks better grey than black wheels as well.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Ford when they brought its new Fiesta out. They did go to town on the different style of alloy wheels, right from the core Fiesta that you can get, the very basic one, right up to the ST with the 18-inch diamond cut ones.
Yeah, they're all completely new, weren't they?
They really have gone to town on the wheels, and hats off to them for that. For the year of its running, the miles to gallon, and this is what I also said earlier, purely because it's not as long motorway journeys and full long blasts, it's doing its normal average for totaling around. In a year, I'm now getting 39.3. Some may say, well, isn't that a bit poor, but let's remember, you look at any car where they give you the figures for what it should be doing, and they never do what they should be doing.
Yeah.
It's always something under. So I don't think it's too bad. It's had its journeys to and from work and other runs around.
And the other thing as well, this car doesn't really do a lot in terms of motorway work.
It's not a motorway mile muncher, is this one. If it was, this average would be totally different.
Yeah, so I think with bearing in mind it's mostly town work, I don't think that's too bad.
It's pretty good. It drives superb. I did mention some niggles it's got, and one, I'll see if I can show it on camera. It's the seat belt. I don't know if it's because where my seat's positioned, but every time I've got my seat belt on, when I take it off to let it go back, and it's actually proved me wrong, but usually it catches
on the
adjustment. And because it's rubber, this adjustment grip, it really hooks onto it sometimes. Is it because you've not much room between the sides? I don't know. It feels a little bit compact. This is a strange thing about a Fiesta. It's bigger than the Mark 7, but also in areas feels a bit squashed in. It's a strange one. It is a strange one.
I suppose every car is going to have the odd design flaw here and there, isn't it?
It's a niggle. And actually, as I've just proved, the seatbelt fully went back then out of the way. So if you suppose if you do it right, it will do. Yeah. Maybe it's me being me, but 9 times out of 10
I think the thing is, with any car, I think if you look hard enough, you'll always find something that you'd prefer to be different, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone knows I'm a Ford man. I've gone through loads of Fords. I've not had many Fiestas. I had one as a Motability car when the Mark 7 shape first came out with my dad. That was a titanium one, and that had the full bells and whistles. That were great. And then this one, I've always had the bigger ones, the Focuses, things like that. I've been heavy on my Focuses and things. So it is nice to have a small car again when you're just on your own.
Yeah.
But I also do miss that sort of bigness sometimes.
Yeah. Well, the Fiesta's certainly getting bigger.
Well, it is. Sure. It is getting bigger. I am finding things like I'm getting some slight wear. This, when I got it, the gear top, the chrome that goes through, was super shiny, as it would be with being a brand new car. But what I'm finding is wear at the top edge and little scuffs. It's as if I'm wearing a ring, and when I'm changing gear, I'm catching it. And as you can see, I'm not married. I'm not married and all that. So
but I've seen that on other ones, but yours isn't as bad as some I've seen. But I've seen it on other ones. So
I'm just thinking, have Ford gone to cheaper plastics and things? Because there's a lot of videos that pointed out you've got this nice soft touch on the dash. Great, Ford. But why didn't you continue it to the doors? It is horrendous plastic
going on there, isn't there?
There really, and I'd say cheaper than some of the Fords I've had.
There's a lot of things in this car that feel really nice. The steering wheel in particular, you've got a nice thick leather bolted steering wheel.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Good. But then you've got areas like that, and you think,
it's the one thing that lets it down. I've known some cars where you pull the visors down and they're the cheap plastic. The plastic on these feel better than the door cards. These feel a bit more quality plastic than what these do.
It's weird, that, isn't it?
And I find it strange when the one thing with a car, what do you touch the most except for the steering wheel? Your doors. I did mention the daytime running lights when I was driving up here. And I did say, and I've said it in the other videos about the review of the car, why Ford didn't include a dimming switch for the daytime running lights. You get obsessed with buttons for dimming the display down and doing this and doing that. A simple little switch that you could have turned in.
But is that a legal requirement thing that they can't necessarily pull that in? Or?
They could have done it within the legal parameters of, let's say, they were still visible as daytime running lights. Because as we know, and Malcolm's pointed out, when I indicate, the actual light unit dulls down so you can actually see the indicator. Now that
it's something to think about, but you have hit a point there. I think maybe that's telling them something that they are to.
You see, I also find as well things like my active city stop. I always turn that off because I don't want the car switching itself off.
You're on about the start stop, aren't
That's
you?
the start stop. They call it active city stop because they imagine you tootling around town stopping at lights, and it switches ignition off when you let your foot off the clutch. That's all it does. I turn that straight off. The Eco, well, in a car like it's a 1 litre 3-cylinder, you're not going to be saving much petrol anyway or anything, so I don't see why this button's here.
No.
By leaving that on, you are really not saving much fuel. That I can sometimes turn
And your
off.
traction control system.
Traction control, well, we've not had any bad weather yet. I've been advised if you get some snow, whip your traction control off.
That's true, that is true,
I have done it in other cars and it does work. So that may come off at some point if we get bad weather. Things like that, fine. I do find, because I've mentioned there's no armrest, and I'm a person used to having an armrest while I drive. I am still doing this a lot, even after a year of owning the car. But by that, I'm finding all the display great.
Like I said, we've got a satellite navigation in yours, haven't we?
We have got the sat-nav in this. As I did point out in the first review, this is the 6-inch screen. Someone pulled me up on it saying, no, it's not, it's the 8. But we're not talking about the whole surround, we're talking about corner-to-corner screen size. This is 6. If you get a Vignale, fine, you get a bigger screen. If you get a titanium, not a titanium, if you get the X-Pack version of this, you can opt for the bigger screen. You can even get a CD player, which you don't get.
No, you
Not
can have
many cars get CD players now. It fits in the top part of the glove box. You can have one integrated in, because you've got your pause and play and all your buttons ready for it. So there are things like that. But as the screen size goes, this is the 6, because this is the standard ST line. It may feel like it's up above others, but it's still the standard one.
Yes, that's something to point out. You can get the ST line, which this is, and you can also have the ST line X-Pack, can't you? Which also comes with half leather and things like that.
It gives you half leather, it gives you red inserts. I do believe you might be able to get some other colours as well, but it does give you inserts. That's the thing, to show it's slightly different. Things like that. Also, like I say, you do get the different size display and things like that.
Personally, I don't see why you'd need them things unless you really want them.
It's like I said in the first review, it's not a biggie having a smaller screen. For everything you can do on this, you can do as well on the other implied lines, and vice versa. It's not a biggie.
In terms of actual equipment, this particular car is pretty much standard ST line, isn't it? There's not really much in the way of optional extras, apart from the race red paintwork, of course.
Well, they call obviously this race red is a flat paintwork colour, so it's not a premium colour or anything like that. It's not metallic or anything. You're not paying over the odds. I mean, like the ST, you can get a performance blue, which is a flagship colour. It's a £750 option.
Yeah, you've got to want it, haven't you?
So.
But no, this is pretty much standard. So on this car, we don't obviously have the comfort pack, they call it, with heated seats, heated steering wheel. We don't have the pan roof, as you can see. But to be honest, it's got everything that...
Well, there's one thing I do like, and I do praise Ford for this with a lot of vehicles, that they just put them on a standard heated windscreen.
Yes,
love it.
It's got that.
I've had to use this a few times, and it's been great. Clears fast. A lot say, well, we want sort of commercial where it shows it clearing super fast. Do you know what? It does.
Yes, they're not far off.
I know they put on that. Well, they used to show it and used to put on that commercial saying dramatisation, but I've seen mine, not sheer ice, but I've seen mine when needed, just basically go like that.
Yeah.
And it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
It's a damn good thing as a heated windscreen.
Every car should have that.
They should.
But I know there was some legal things why cars haven't, a lot of cars haven't.
Well, if your windscreen has to be replaced, a bit more difficult, obviously. But the only thing, and I do hate it, it's the caution lady. Every time there's any speed cameras or anything like that, and it's picking everything up from a satellite navigation, whether you've got it on or not, and it will pipe up caution. Sometimes she sounds like she's saying portion. It's strange. I've got this word in my head now, but you can have your favourite tune on. You're there driving away, loving your tune. You turn it up a little bit. Great, I'm enjoying this. Awesome. Caution. She just butts straight in. You do look a bit of a Burke if you've got your windows down, booming your way to your favourite track and all that, and you're driving like this, and all of a sudden a woman pipes up saying caution. If anyone knows how to turn her off, will you please tell me? Because for all I've tried, I don't think you can turn her off. It's obviously got the camera that looks at things and all sorts of things like that. It's all a combination of things, and she pipes up all the time.
It's not part of the reason why you're single, is it, Martin? No, I think it serves you really well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I have to admit, I did once point out on the video of the first review, because it's a black headline and things like that, did it all look very gloomy, but do you know what? I don't think it does. I like a black and red theme. We have certain little bits of red stitching on the seats, not on the steering wheel, funnily enough. It's just all white, but I think it all goes well together. It isn't a gloomy place.
It does look really nice, and like I said, I think Ford got the styling bang on with this.
Oh, they did. You've got to embrace new styling with any cars when they go to the next mark or the facelift and the change, and I think it's a good styling, but it's the daytime running lights that take a bit of getting used to. I have, and I wouldn't see that as I'm not getting an ST because of them lights. I love them, but they took a lot of getting used to.
Yeah.
This 3-cylinder engine, this is the smallest brake horsepower of 3. You're talking about 99 point some brake horsepower.
In this car, isn't it?
Yeah. Your next one up to 125 brake horsepower. Your top one is 140. I find this a nice little pocket rocket. When I'm just in it and I'm not carrying any weight or anything like that, I can get up hills perfectly, I can overtake perfectly. It surprises me sometimes. No, it surprises me. So I always think, what's the 140 like?
Yeah.
Because when you think they can't go too close to how the power of the ST is, and we all know that ST, I mean, we're talking 144 mile an hour car ST.
140 horsepower in a 1 litre, you're probably pushing the limits of the engine itself anyway at that point, aren't you?
You probably are. I mean, a lot of people said if you're going to get one, go for the 140 brake, but I tell you what, I reckon the middle one might be actually a decent one to have, the 125 brake.
I think so. I think you've probably got a good combination there.
When you start the ignition, first, it tells you you've not got your seatbelt on, or you've got one on. Okay it. Alright, I'll okay it. That's that done. Oh, I want my active city stop off, because if I take my foot off clutch, the car will switch off. So I knock that off. I've got to okay it. Oh, I've got to do that. I've got to okay. You've got to okay every single thing you do. And if anyone's already got an ST, they'll know before they can put their ST into race mode, it gives you so many warnings, you have to turn so many things off. And then it tells you, you're in race mode, watch out, all this blah, blah, blah. You've got to do all that before it will allow you to go. And this is the thing, is it too many warnings?
But to summarise though, how has it been in a year of ownership, Martin?
In a year of ownership, when I first got this car, a bit like that about it, because the car that I left behind for it was my Puma, and I will say now, thinking back, when I look at pictures of my Puma, I was really warm into that car, and I liked it. It was different, and it was a decent car.
It's one of them cars that you did warm to quite
easily, I did like it, and then I came back to, let's say, the modern time with this, and at first it took a bit of getting used to. It really did. And yeah, I know I'm back to my start-stop button and things like that, and this one is not keyless entry. This is another thing. I'm plumbing for an ST, but I'm plumbing for an ST2 because the ST2's locking system is like this, and it isn't keyless entry. ST3 is keyless entry.
Yeah.
Really a crime. I'm a bit concerned about that because STs are already being stolen as we speak.
And we have covered that on Overdrive.
We have. So this is why I'm plumbing for an ST2 to get around the security issue a bit. With this, I prefer to press a button to unlock the car. I don't like this grab and handle and you're in. I don't like that.
That's understandable, of course.
But yeah, living with this car as it is in the year, I've got used to certain things like the daytime running lights. I've enjoyed the drive every day I go to work or everywhere I have to go in it. I enjoy the drive. The suspension isn't harsh. It is the ST suspension, but
a bit firmer than standard, isn't it?
It's firmer than standard, but it's forgiving. But the ST suspension is tweaked even more on this. So that will be a slightly harsher, but you'd have to expect that for that vehicle.
You kind of go into that with your eyes open on that kind of thing, don't you?
Yeah, it's the nature of the car. It has to be like that. But
it's been a lovely car to film. Me, Malcolm, and Martin have all enjoyed filming it over the past year, haven't we?
It's had its features in many things as this car,
and also actually as well, it's proven, dare I say it, one of the most popular videos on Overdrive, hasn't it?
Well, we do know a lot of viewers have looked at the first review of this, strangely enough, where the car's only shown driving a little bit. The second video, where it's driven a lot, hasn't got as many reviews, but please view it.
It does just show the relevance.
I will say, on the basis someone actually got in touch with me about wondering about getting one of these for the daughter, and I believe it actually did.
Super. There you go. So we're consumer advice on Overdrive.
I also will say a lad at work saw mine, and he had a Corsa. He got rid of his Corsa and got one of these in silver, and he was quizzing me so much, and I says, well, watch my videos and that, and he had a quick look and he liked them, and he says, yeah. He says, I think I'm going to get that silver one, and he did. So now there's two of these place of work. There's the red one and the chap's silver one. Hats off to him. He's got it. He loves it, just like I love this. I will say, anyone who's thinking of buying one of these, do it. I've not heard of any stories about these. 3-cylinder engine, you think, oh, dropping a cylinder. I don't know, but it works. It works fine. Ford have tuned this nicely. The only thing, a neighbour pointed it out to me, but this is by the by with being a 3-cylinder, you do get a little bit more engine noise. I'll just say, if you don't want the expense of the full fat ST, but you want to look the part of something very sporty, and actually got the mild sporty thrills, I'll say, this is a car for you. It won't let you down.
There you go. I hope that's comprehensive enough. But in terms of, I think, the talking...
In terms of us yakking on way too much as we always do, we will say goodbye for now. Catch you later, mate.
Bye.